Namaskar and good evening. On the dais, Sri M. Mahendra Reddy, former DGP Telangana, Sri M. Mahesh Bhagwat, IPS, ADG Law and Order Telangana, Sri V. Sajnath, IPS, CP Hyderabad, Sri Avinath Mohanty, IPS, CP Hyderabad, Sri V. Ranjana, President TCS, Sri Shaileja Joyce, Senior Vice President Cognizant, Sri Arun Tiwari, co-author, The Extra Mile, Sri Krishna Yadula, author, The Extra Mile, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to join you for the launch of The Extra Mile, a work that celebrates resilience, leadership, and the unwavering humanitarian spirit demonstrated during an unprecedented global crisis. I congratulate Dr. Krishna Yadula and Professor Arun Tiwari ji for creating a book that blends institutional memory, community service, and lived experience into a powerful and inspiring narrative. The authors have highlighted Hyderabad's remarkable transformation into a thriving technology hub and showcased how visionary planning, collaboration, and civic commitment shaped an ecosystem of innovation and responsibility. This city's response during the pandemic remains one of the most compelling examples of collective courage, proving that adversity often reveals the finest qualities within communities and institutions. The book documents how government agencies, industry partners, police leadership, technology professionals, volunteers and citizens united with purpose to ensure safety, continuity and passionate support for those affected. The Society for Hyderabad Security Council played a central role, guided by educated leaders who ensured coordination between stakeholders, enabling rapid and effective crisis response across all essential domains. Operations ranging from food distribution to medical assistance were executed seamlessly, demonstrating the strength of collaboration and the power of organized civic engagement in moments of widespread uncertainty. In the most difficult moments, volunteers ensured dignified last rites for those who lost their lives, reflecting the highest value of humanity and shared responsibility. Professor Arun Tiwari, shaped by his long association with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, brings deep insight, reminding us of Kalamji's words. Great dreams transform into great actions when driven by courage, compassion, and collective purpose. This work also offers important lessons for the future, emphasizing that collaborative governance, technological preparedness, and inclusive community engagement will remain essential pillars of resilient urban development. It reminds us that cities prosper not only through infrastructure and industry, but through empathy, solidarity, and willingness to support one another during difficult times. The Extra Mile is therefore more than a chronicle. It is a tribute to the spirit of Telangana and a guide for building together strong, compassionate society across nations. And I heard the senior police officer speaking, the person who named the book Extra Mile, and he said it very well, that the extra mile, when taking the extra mile, you are never alone. The COVID pandemic was a very dark moment in global history itself. But the valiance and the compassion and the resilience that the people showed, especially in our nation, outshone that darkness. And in this book upholds that shining example. As the Prime Minister often says, sabka prayas. It means binding of Sarkar and Samaj to the state of empathy and compassion. When the society and the government or Sarkar and Samaj work together, things do become possible. And this book will highlight that fact. And we in India have always been a country that is, guided the world. We have been the guiding spirit of this world for a very long time. And we have always, in the pandemic, this was again proved to be correct. He always said in the Maha-Upanishad that your mind, his, hers, is for those mean-minded people or narrow-minded people. For the broad-minded, it is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And this book reflects that image. As people of Hyderabad work together, not thinking of your mind, or it is their suffering, or my suffering, or his suffering, or her suffering, it was suffering of all. It is compassion that binds the society together. We in India have always said this. We in our, civilizational matter, in our civilizational thinking, we have always said this. And we have always said dharma in the broader sense of right deeds and right thoughts to overrule everything. Dharma is those values that uphold the mind. The word dharma itself comes from that. Dhi comes from the word dharan, to uphold, and ma comes from mind. So dharma is that which upholds the mind. Though we now in English, we have become very English speaking. I am myself giving a speech in English. We have become very English speaking. The Western world doesn't have a word for dharma, and we don't have a word for religion. So we always mix them up. That is the problem with us. We don't have a word for religion. If you have to say something about religion, specific, we'll say, upasana paddhati. How a person worships. That is the word for religion. We don't have a single word. We'll say upasana paddhati. The procedure of worship. And while the Westerners have written many books on the Vedas, on the Upanishads, and very nice books also. But when they come to the word dharma, they are, more likely to use the word religion and cause a little confusion in our mind. But the central theme around which this nation is built is dharma. Right deeds and right actions. And dharma is propelled by the thought, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And when we say quote this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we are talking of compassion, we are talking of empathy, we are talking of unity. And as another police officer, very senior man says, that if you have a full thali or plate is full, you have to give it to someone hungry, that is Sanskriti. And it is correct. That is it is very beautifully put. That is our Sanskriti. And with this sanskar, we have given the world so much during COVID. We have given the vaccines to Hyderabad itself. We have sent them to so many countries, over 100 countries. We have fought COVID. As someone has said, if we live, we'll fight again. That was the call. The resilience of India, the magnanimity of our people, and the proof that the government and the society work together. But after all, the government is not something, that has come from Mars or come from the moon. It is part of the society. It is the colonial mindset that we have, that the police force is something extra from the society. It is not. A law is for society. So this book, those confined to one place, Hyderabad and all that, the thought is universal. The thought is universal, of compassion, of empathy, of what can be achieved when Sarkar and Samaj work together. What I could understand from the brochure, I was going through the brochure a little bit. And it's a very wonderful book in that sense. That it highlights through a story, it highlights through a story in Hyderabad, it highlights the very ethos of this civilization, of a very ancient civilization. That very few books do nowadays. So it will be worth reading, and I would, as Tiwari ji was saying, I hope you will collect your copies before leaving, and that Tiwari ji also right, that you have come to listen to last mile, and that is also you are taking a last mile. I hope you all the best, and I am confident that efforts like these will motivate younger generation. That is important, because our dreams too need to be taken forward. As we move forward, we have to take everything forward. And the only way to take it forward is through young minds. Because India is something, Bharat is something more than technology, more than just books, more than just, computers, more than just business. And when we talk of Viksit Bharat, we tend to, think that Viksit Bharat means having a very large bank account. Yes, it is a part of Viksit Bharat. Economics is a very important part. It's a very, very major part, but it is not the only part. A Bharat that will lead the world will be a Bharat of compassion, Bharat of empathy, a Bharat that shows the world that, no matter how dark the hour is, we can still go through it with dharma. We can still lead the world to think that yes, actually it is true, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. As the pandemic struck, it did not differentiate between a poor country and a rich country. A developed country and developed country as defined by West, it did not differentiate. And many things that happened in so-called developed countries were terrible. In that, we have been able to show some light. And instances like this, as reflected in this book, are important for us. Important for our children to know and to build values. Just knowing is not enough. Because children know too much nowadays. They press their phone, they know everything. To know is important, to feel is important, and to do is more important. To know is important, there is no question. You must know. And you must feel what you do. And if you feel what you know, you must also do what is right. So I thank the organizers. It was a very nice function and very nice, some of the speakers have given very lovely speeches, and especially Dr. Tiwari's speech was very stimulating and very nice. And how this book came to be, how this book was born. That is always interesting. A book that is born of such, interesting circumstances will undoubtedly be interesting. So thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Respected Honorable Governor of Telangana, our ex-DGP Sir, Mahendra Reddy Sir, our Additional DG Law and Order, Mahesh Bhagwat, CP Hyderabad, writers Krishna and Arun Tiwari Sir, Rajanna from TCS, Shailaja from Cognizant, invitees, and my dear volunteers, media friends. Good evening, everybody. Andarki పేరు పేరు నమస్కారాలు. It's truly humbling to be here today, revisiting a chapter of our lives that tested not just our systems but also our very humanity. I should appreciate and congratulate Krishna and Arun Tiwari sir for capturing this journey of COVID so thoughtfully. It was a very, very testing time. చాలా ఒక క్లిష్ట టైంలో మన అందరూ కూడా పనిచేయడం జరిగింది. It was not only as a Hyderabad police commissioner, merely a professional responsibility. It was also a deep personal battle. Each day we faced uncertainty, fear and loss around us. Every day, myself and Krishna, we used to receive hundreds of calls asking for beds, medicines, help, groceries and all. But each time, the SAC team, the Hyderabad police and all the volunteers rose up and they delivered each and every need which the citizen wanted. Yet in those darkest months, we witnessed an extraordinary courage from the ordinary people, mostly our police constables, medical staffs, volunteers, industry partners and citizens who stepped forward without any hesitations. Especially our volunteers, we should appreciate their parents who let them come out and help the Hyderabad police and the secretariat team. Lot of చాలా మంది పేరెంట్స్ కూడా మాకు ఫోన్ చేసి they used to call us, how is our boy, how is our girl sir, she is taken care or not, or he is taken care or not. We always used to assure them that they are in the safest hands, and each one of them almost they work 24 hours running the call center, attending thousands of calls every day. It was a really very testing times. I should appreciate all the volunteers who are here and who have also worked with the Hyderabad police and the Hyderabad Security Council team. I should also take this opportunity to thank and appreciate our SDGP sir, Mahendra Reddy sir. With his vision, this Institute of Hyderabad Security Council was started with all the industry leaders, especially Krishna and all, in way back in 2006. That came very, very handy during the COVID times. We could work with all the industry leaders, assured them, and also the employees, all the stakeholders round the clock working for them. So I take this effort to appreciate the effort of the Hyderabad police, the SAC secretariat team, the industry leaders, the hospital managements, all the hospitals which were in Hyderabad and Hyderabad, they came forward and they really helped all the people. Whenever we called for any help, they were there to help us, the volunteers and all the people who helped us in this endeavor. So COVID not only changed the face of policing, and it was not only about law and order, but also taking care, empathy, service, and standing by the people in the loneliest moment. So, sir, I would also like this opportunity to inform Governor sir that along with Hyderabad Security Council, the Hyderabad Security Council and the Art of Living Foundation, we set up an isolation center in the Rajbhavan also, which was very, very helpful for all the employees of the Rajbhavan and the nearby areas, citizens also, and it was very, very useful and it was appreciated by everyone. So I appreciate Krishna and Arun sir for taking this, capturing all these moments of COVID and all, because it not only it's not about the book launch, it's a celebration of kindness, courage and resilience, and it also showed that when we walk the extra mile, we never walk alone. So thank you Krishna and thank you Arun sir for capturing those testing times. It's not only the story of Krishna or Arun sir or the SCAC or the Hyderabad police, it's also the story of each and every volunteer who have helped us in this testing times. I also appreciate all the Hyderabad police officials who really worked very, very hard. There were many, many cases also, but they never cared for their health also, and they came out, they helped us in this testing times. I also take this opportunity to thank our DGP sir, Mahendra Reddy sir, who was there as the DGP of Telangana state that time, and also my friend Mahesh Baga sir, who was Commissioner of Police Rajkonda. We worked hand in hand and we ensured that there was no loss of life, and every citizen who called us, both Hyderabad and Rajkonda, were reached, and they were not only in this part of state, because Hyderabad had sent almost 5 lakh offices, set up 5 lakh offices not only in the state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, but also all over the country. So each one of the volunteers used to call, even when they required beds in Pune, Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi and all, and we were there to help them by coordinating with the concerned police officials. So that was the great work done by the Hyderabad Security Council and the Hyderabad Police. So I once again appreciate Krishna and Arun sir for capturing those moments. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Sri Jishnu Varma Garu, His Excellency the Governor of Telangana, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, friends, and all those members of Hyderabad Security Council. Very good evening to you all. It's very heartening to learn that someone has taken initiative to record the happenings within the COVID times and bring out the best. As you know, it was the best of the times and it was the worst of the times. The worst of the times because for obvious reasons. It gave a real rude shock to everyone. How people were dropping dead just like that. How this pandemic did not distinguish between the haves and have-nots, the poor and the rich. How it did not distinguish between a villager or a town. It proved to be a great leveler. And it was the best of the times because it brought the best out of certain people, some people, like Yedula Krishna, Mahendra Reddy Garu, C.P. Sajjana, Mahesh Bhagavat. Of course, they were in service, so naturally they had extra time and resources at their command to do service to the society. But there are so many unsung heroes, like many of sitting here. There's a reason why it's also the best of the times. As I said, somebody took initiative to record all those happenings during that time. To how it recorded, I think it records how it brought people together, how it brought different sections of society together in helping each other. I'm very happy that I've been invited for this to sit along His Excellency the Governor. Hope this book of Krishna Yedula and Arun Tiwari literally goes the extra mile and it attains the same popularity and inspires people as the Wings of Fire. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
His contributions span defense, healthcare, and education, earning him the Defense Technology Spin-off Award and global recognition. May I invite Professor Tiwari to address the audience, please.
A very good evening to all of you, His Excellency, Honorable Officers, friends. I will be talking to you only two things. How this book was written, number one, 2 minutes I will take. And then, what is the meaning of extra mile? What we want to convey. I came to Hyderabad in 1982. All this thing was not there at that time. Jubilee checkpost was a real checkpost like where jungle starts, city ends, that kind of a thing. So how this city transformed? I came here to work at DRDL Missile Laboratory, and my good fortune was that Dr. Kalam became my boss. So whether I came to Hyderabad to serve in DRDL or I came to Hyderabad because Dr. Kalam was supposed to guide me, or that is the question at the 78th year, I don't know. But he transformed me. So I requested him that your biography should be written so that a poor child whose parents are not educated, who is born at a place which is isolated, Rameswaram is still isolated. How can he become what you have become? I want to write that story so that child like you have this confidence that if he can become, he can also become. So that was the reason Wings of Fire was written. It took many years for me to write Wings of Fire. Because it was an honest book, it clicked. I want to tell you that the Silver Jubilee edition was released last month, and yesterday I got a mail from my publisher that all the copies which was released last month, are sold out. And we are going to bring out a new reprint of the Wings of Fire. If you have any suggestion, you please let us know. I told by now Wings of Fire is like a diamond, you can't cut it anymore. So please go ahead with the next reprint. Coming back to, I wrote one book after a long gap with my friend Dr. Chinnababu Sunkavalli. Somehow I saw the glimpse of Dr. Kalam whenever I meet him. He talked fast, he walked fast, he is always tirelessly working, thinking what can be done and all that. So I wrote a book with him, Live for the Legacy. It became a hit book. So during that course of time, he told me that they constructed a 100-bedded hospital in 2 days' time. I worked with Dr. Somaraju, I worked with all these hospitals, great hospitals of Hyderabad came to being after I came in this city, after 1982 only. So, 2 दिन में hospital कैसे बनता है? So I say, how is it possible? I would like to meet those persons who made it possible. And then he brought Sajjana Saab and Krishna Yadula to my house. They came to my house. And then I asked Sajjana sir, what should be the title of the book? So like Dr. Kalam says, no, don't write any book about me. He was also very cautious, no, don't write anything about me, I am a police officer. I don't want to be written about. So I told him, sir, we are not writing about you. We want to write about all those officers who, bound by your duty and frame of, you work under law, you are law officer. You can't, every step of you is watched. How you could do all these things? So I asked Dr. Kalam also what should be the name of that book. He says Wings of Fire, and Wings of Fire become immortal. So I asked Mr. Sajjanar, sir, what should be the name of this book? And without hesitating for a second, he says Extra Mile. So, I'm very truthfully telling, he says Extra Mile. And that is how this book became Extra Mile. Now first part is over. The second part is, what is the meaning of extra mile? Don't confuse this extra mile is your extra mile. I have a 2 BHK house, now I want a 3 BHK house. Now I have a Fortuner, I want to go for Audi. That is not extra mile. What is extra mile? So extra mile is what Dr. Kalam did when he asked to make a coronary stent. Why the Director General of Defence Research and Development Organization and the missile scientists bother about making an indigenous coronary stent? Because he is aware that the people of this country who need stent, they cannot afford 1 lakh rupees for the cost of this stent. So all these great laboratories should do something that using that same technology, they can make the same thing which is affordable to everybody. That is extra mile. When His Excellency the Governor of Telangana called all the Northeast people to Hyderabad, learn from this great city, learn from this pupil, talented pupil, brilliant pupil, and take this initiative and innovation back to your place. Sir, that is extra mile. These people, when you read this book, the book is as a gift available to you. Please don't go without taking that book. And don't embarrass us asking for autograph and all that, because it is your book. So write your name, date, and it is your book. And in that book, what we are celebrating is, we are celebrating those people who cremated those whose family members deserted them. In government hospitals, there were many bodies whose families disappeared. Now hospital does not know what to do. So they came forward, they cremated them, and they cremated them by proper rites of the religion of the deceased. When lockdown was there, everybody was at home. Dogs were howling outside. What dog eats? What a stock dog eats? Stock dog eats. Street dog eats the leftover of the restaurants and the leftover of the houses. Now there was no leftover, so they were starving. There was a lady who prepared food, went out and fed these dogs. That is extra mile. Some children, they lost both their parents. Mother is also gone, father is also gone. COVID was deadly. It was not discriminating who are you. Now when both of them have gone, what will happen to the orphan child? What will happen to their education? Volunteers came forward and made sure that they continue to study in the same school. That is extra mile. At the end, all of you on a Friday evening come here to listen to our story. That is extra mile. God bless you.